the 3 o'clock hour. Welcome to Hard Factor 92.3 Nigeria Info. The 4 o'clock hour, we will have Canvas on Air. The 5 o'clock hour, we'll be looking at the statement made by Asari Dokubo. And at the top of each of the hours for the show today, of course, we will bring you the news. And the 4 o'clock hour would be the business news. The 5 o'clock hour would be the news update, and of course the major news at 6. But for the 3 o'clock hour, some of you already know it's time for the big stories. And on the menu today, on the agenda today, it's not my big story, but I like to mention it nonetheless. So you must have seen the viral video of the Senate President Godswill Akpabio. Would I say making mockery of the Nigerian situation, or trying to allow Nigerians to laugh a bit? I don't know if that's what the case was, but we did all see that video showing him moving emotion that the poor should be allowed to breed. Okay, let the poor breed. And it's funny how they were able to pass a motion on that. I don't understand it. Maybe someone can help me understand it. Yet again, it's not part of my big stories, but it's a big story nonetheless. Thanks to Constance Mega. All right, let's listen to Akpabio.
Prayer is that let the poor breathe, and then Senator Mustafa has seconded that the poor should breathe. Those who are in support of the additional prayer that the poor should be allowed to breathe, say aye. And those who are against, stay nay. The ayes have it, the poor must be allowed to breathe.
Oh my goodness. The poor must be allowed to breathe. You know what? For every big story that I reel out today, and for every conversation that we would have on the show today, I want you to remember what Akpabio said. Once again, listen.
Prayer is that let the poor breathe, and then Senator Mustafa has seconded that the poor should breathe. Those who are in support of the additional prayer that the poor should be allowed to breathe, say aye. And those who are against, stay nay. The ayes have it, the poor must be allowed to breathe.
Now, based on how I have started the show, I want the poor to be able to breathe. I will start with this big story. NLC threatens strike August 2. NLC threatens strike August 2. So there is something like a 1 week ultimatum to the federal government to reverse some of the economic policies the government has reeled out in, the past few weeks, or would I say months. And one of it is the reversal of the current petrol pump price, which will mean the reversal of petrol subsidy removal. I do not know how feasible that will be. I'm talking about the strike now, because you remember there is the industrial court order directing labor not to go on strike pending the determination of, I think, the matter in court. So I'm wondering how the NLC plans to embark on that strike. Secondly, like I said yesterday, would a strike solve the problem, or would a strike worsen the situation, given, let the poor breed, remember, let the poor breed. So I'm thinking in my head, I do not know about the strike. Would it help issues? Would it worsen issues given the inflation rate? You just talked about the interest rate. Oh my goodness. When you look at the economic indices, like I would always sing when I come on the show, it's not good. And the poor, the people are suffering. I saw a picture of Lagos, a bubbling city, a city always hustling. The streets were dry by 6 p.m. to show you that economic activities are beginning to dwindle in that region. It's affecting everybody. And I'm wondering what the strike will mean to the economy, and if the NLC will be able to pull it off. But most importantly is, would the federal government listen? Nigerian doctors on strike, indefinite strike. Will the federal government listen? Let's go to another one that signifies, allowing the poor to breed. Another big story. Federal tertiary institutions remain tuition free. And this is coming from the presidency. Federal tertiary institutions remain tuition free. The president is speaking, and there was a statement released by Dele Alake yesterday. Was it this morning? And he was talking about how the federal government is not taking tuition fee from federal institutions. And I remember when we talked about the unity schools, I read out, how the money was broken down to arrive at the 100,000 that parents are supposed to pay. And I did mention, I remember, that tuition fee was blank, was empty when we got to that row. So Alake is saying that the increment is as a result of the various institutions raising other fees that should be paid by the students. For example, for the unity schools, I mentioned there was the boarding school fee that was increased. There was the uniform fee. I think that was 25,000 naira. All of these security, health, all of that stuff. And maybe that's what the federal tertiary institutions are also doing. But in the light of this, what do you make of it? The federal government coming out and say, I know follow. Don't drag me into this conversation. I'm not a monk. It's the universities that are doing it. It's the polytechnics that are doing it. We're not involved. What do you make of that? What do you make of that? I'd like to get your opinion on that issue as well. Remember, we're letting the poor breed. Do not forget that. We're letting the poor breed. Let's go to Enugu State, where the governor has sealed banks and shops for obeying sit at home. And so we've seen viral videos of what's happening in Enugu. As a matter of fact, Channels TV is reporting that one person has died as a result of a protest. The shop owners are protesting the governor's directive or move to seal shops based on their obedience to the sit at home in Enugu. Now, we've talked about sit at home several times. Several radio stations, TV stations, media platforms have talked about the sit at home in the southeast. And a lot of the times, people say the government is not doing anything. The people in that region are not doing anything. But do you like the move by the Enugu state governor? Do you think it's overreaching? Do you think it's too much punishment for people who did not open their shops? Remember, they were scared. They don't trust the security architecture to protect them. There is that argument, remember. There is that argument. Also remember that you can start dropping your thoughts on our conversation. Remember, the theme for the big stories today is letting the poor breed. 0809-030-6416. That's the WhatsApp number. You can start dropping your messages. When I start taking contributions, I would start with the WhatsApp portal, and of course Facebook as well. Nigeria Info PH, we're live. Or better still, I'll start with Facebook. I'll focus on Facebook. So you want to go there and drop your comments. Nigeria Info PH is the handle. We're active on Twitter as well. Nigeria Info PH is the handle. And YouTube, we're live. Nigeria Info PH is the handle. All right, so let's see. Is there any other story in Let the Poor Breed? Yeah. So yesterday we talked about it briefly towards the end of the big stories, where I told you that the DSS and the NCS, that's the Correctional Service, were fighting over custody of Emefiele. Reactions are now trailing. The NBA lawyers, senior lawyers, of course, everybody is talking. Nigerians are talking. You are talking. But I want to hear your reaction, because there are two arguments I've seen on different newspapers, and I think I like the two arguments. One said the DSS, yes, they have the right to rearrest Emefiele based on a different charge. That's if they have a different charge. But how they went about the arrest is what he he does not like and cannot say is a good thing. He said, the DSS can have several charges against Emefiele and decide to, prosecute it one after the other. And I think that's maybe a little bit of a political strategy to, I don't know, that's my thought, to get at Emefiele. However, if there are charges, then of course they can rearrest, right? But then the other lawyer may not have disagreed, but then he went back to December, and I mentioned it yesterday briefly. It went back to December when the DSS charged or were, attempting to arrest Emefiele at the time, for sponsoring a terror group. Remember that, right? After the commercial break, I'll get back to the story and we'll talk some more. Stay tuned.
We take off.
All right, remember. We having the theme for today. We're having a theme for today, and the theme is let the poor breathe. And the more I remember what Akpabio said, I think I'm beginning to get angry. Because I know what is happening to my pockets. Anyways, moving on. I was telling you a story, or before I get to my story, for those of you joining us, it's the big stories, hard facts with Kaladako Ribatabo on 92.3 Nigeria Info. And I was talking about, the fight between DSS and NCS yesterday over who should take custody of the suspended CBN governor, Godwin Emefiele. And I was talking about, two lawyers who argued differently because I liked the way they argued. And the first one did say that the DSS has got the right to rearrest if there's a different charge or charges. The other lawyer did not necessarily argue otherwise, but he said that the talk about sponsoring a terror group, which may likely be the reason why he has been rearrested, as is being said in certain corners. Was it not what the DSS and Emefiele slugged out in court in December, where the judge at the time ruled that you can't hold him down for certain economic, the lawyer argued in that direction. The judge ruled what the judge ruled. I can't remember all of it now, but then again, if there is a judgment on that, why is he being, anyways? And then why didn't okay, moving on. I want to get your thoughts on that. Moving on, really. Ministerial list. Tinubu has till June 29 to nominate ministers. I'm looking at the calendar in front of me. It's July 26 today. So by Thursday is what, 27, 28. By Saturday is 29th June. Friday is the last official day, working day for the week. Maybe the Senate could do some miracles and open on Saturday. I do not know. However, there are reports, if you've seen the dailies, if you've seen the papers online or the one that is, published physically, if you've seen the papers, you would see that some newspapers are reporting that the president has gone into some kind of isolation, seclusion, because he does not want interference. There's to talk about anytime, any moment from now, the president will release his ministerial list. And there are talks about the president not wanting to have a lot of, past governors and, very popular politicians in that list. What he's looking for are majorly technocrats, and that's what has been rumored. And there is so much pressure on who he should pick, and that's why he's gone into isolation. And Akpabio again, he said and reported to have said that the president is praying so that he can, be led by God to choose the right people. I want to get your thoughts on this. Let the poor breed remember. 017-923-0002, 017-923-0003. It's the bottom of the hour. It's time for your contributions. I've done my job. I've reeled out the big stories for you, the stories that are trending, the stories that the dailies have reported. And I've done my job. It's time for you to do your job, your civic responsibility, and contribute to the conversation for development. Remember, this is Hard Facts with Kalada Korubatabo. And so, like I promised, I start with the messages. And so I'm going straight to WhatsApp now, and let's see. Okay, that's not for me. Let's start with this one. And this one says, hello, Kalada. Let the poor breathe. This is what you see when corrupt persons are found in government. I can agree with you, so I can't mention the name that you've mentioned because, no court has seen him as corrupt. But Monday Mbang from Jari Port Harcourt, I do see your message. Trust me, I do. And I hope the poor can breathe. This one says, good afternoon, presenter. I no longer believe NLC. They have nothing to offer to Nigerians. They are a set of confused people. Their threats to embark on strike on the 2nd of August will not still yield any result. Just watch as they cancel the purported strike action. Concerning the sealing of shops by Enugu state government, can the governor walk around Enugu town without any security? People should be allowed to run their business their own way. People won't lock their shops if there is good security architecture and if they are convinced that they are safe. Let the poor breed. Oseja Obume Port Harcourt. All right. We have there is a motion now. And let the poor breed, and I'm liking the fact that people are on that motion. And this one says, hi, I think we can say that those holding Emefiele are bigger than the judiciary, judging from what played out on the court yesterday, and their disobedience to court orders is only in Banana Republic countries that those disobedient to court orders could be seen playing out. But hey, like I said, there is the argument that if there's a fresh charge, then it's not the same with what the court ruled on. So yes, he's gotten bail on that, but there's another charge. Anyways, let's go to the phone lines and come back later to the messages. I've got Frank from D-Line. Frank, greetings to you. Welcome. Let's talk. Frank, can you hear me?
Yeah. I can hear you, yes.
All right, then. Let
me dwell on Emefiele's reality.
All right, then.
Yes. DSS, they are right.
Okay.
Based on the first charge.
Okay.
Yes. What Emefiele has done to Nigeria, the article was passed through during his time as the CVM governor. It's not something I can even pray that Emefiele should be released today.
All right.
Because
Frank is innocent until proven guilty. I mean, you cannot say he's guilty without the court prescribing, that order.
For now, the matter is in court now. The court say otherwise. But even himself, he disobeyed court order when court say he should allow the two currencies to run concurrently. So even that one, he is even guilty for that one. If they have to charge it for content of the district, so I'm not a lawyer, but now I'm happy with the condition of the Emefiele.
All right, then, Frank. Thank you very much. I've got Leton Barry from Bori. Leton Barry, welcome. Let's share your thoughts, please.
Hello, good afternoon, Canada.
Yeah, good afternoon. Welcome.
Yeah, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Quickly, please. Straight to the point.
Okay. Let me look at the sit at home that is causing mayhem and mortgaging the people that are supposed to be out there for their business, and they are following the order made by some certain set of people and are letting down their economic situation, putting it in a mess. I think there should be measures to tackle this menace called sit at home by the Southeast leaders. Up till now, they fail to understand that they are just killing themselves. And
Leighton Barry, that's why
to listen to them.
Leighton Barry, that's why I now ask you the question. Now that the Enugu State Governor has, decided to go about handling this situation like this, what do you make of it? That's the question.
I think that is the best way to go to start with. Because a lot of people are not willing to obey that order, but they don't see anybody that can stand by them to say, we don't want this. But let me lastly look at Tinubu have July 29th.
You've got 20 seconds. You've got 20 seconds. Go ahead.
I think that has given Tinubu a lot of pressure that has made him to run out of the place. And this is giving him more pressure. So I want to appeal. He should not wait till 29th. Since they have agreed that it will be between yesterday and today and tomorrow. At least by tomorrow he should submit that to release pressure from himself. So that this whole shout and all that will calm down.
Thank you very much. Your time is up. Emeka from Owerri, welcome, Emeka.
Canada, good afternoon once again.
All right, welcome, Emeka.
Yes. Canada, let me dwell on fast on two issues. Very fast.
All right, your
you
2 minutes
see that the Enugu Governor, what he's doing. People have forgotten even the reason for this issue of job. These people were protesting peacefully. The Nigerian army was using live bullets on them. I don't know whether I forgot that it is. They now decide, instead of our people to be killed, let us just sit at home in the name of protest. I don't know why they see today, and some people allege that time. These people, they lack for it, they can't sit at home. But now they are sitting at home, it's become on a place again. This is a protest. You can carry placards, protest can come in any form. So what Tinubu says is doing, I don't think it's a solution to the problem. Another state tried it, they couldn't succeed. Even if they say here, they couldn't succeed. And he said, no governor, let him control what he's doing. On this issue of Emefiele, I want to repeat myself, I say the other session, I support the Emefiele's policy prior to the election.
All right.
It's more, I'll continue to say it.
All right then.
Because that is the reason why in the court today, the players of that election have evidence to tender in the court. Because the original plan was to buy votes and buy other things that you can't prove in the court. So anybody that is saying that he should suffer, I will enjoy it now.
All right.
Now look at everything I will enjoy it. Why are we Nigeria the way we think sometimes the way we talk? I support the message the DSS, they control to do what they do. The other day was so the other was in Nanikalo. Now it's a ton of message. I don't know who is talking tomorrow.
All right, thank you very much.
I want to say something very fast.
Yeah, quickly. Yeah.
This situation is very good. But the issue of hanging somebody
you're now hanging someone. Thank you very much, Emeka. I've got to let you go. JJ from Rumigbo, welcome. JJ.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, it's still afternoon, but
the policy of the Enugu State government, to me, is not a welcome development.
Okay.
You see, people say that if the rat or the pussycat eat the fish, if you blame it, you also blame the fish for smelling. because without the smell, the pussycat or the rat will not know that the fish is there. So what have you done to make sure that these people, you guarantee that when they come out, they will be safe? Most of them, especially the past government, have told them that come out, and most of them got killed at the end of the day. So that's, how will I put it now? That confidence was no longer there. So you don't just go about shutting down their shop because they didn't come out. As far as I'm concerned, nobody will want to stay at home on a Monday morning. But now what happens, they make them look at. But for the ministerial list, I think the president is wasting too much time now.
All right.
You won election and you stayed for some days, I think almost 2 months. These are the things you're supposed to be doing within this period. And as soon as you come, I don't even need to count days before you submit this list to the Senate and you hit the ground running.
Right.
Now it has become countdown. Meanwhile, people are not even looking at that side. Very soon, the Senate will be going on recess. They said they are going on summer vacation. I don't know if we have summer or winter or whatever. Yeah, they said they are going on summer vacation. And they may not come back till 2 months' time. Canada, you get that?
Yeah.
So for me, you need to do whatever you want to do now, knowing that we are in a very precarious situation where everything needs to start working immediately.
Right.
Don't come in to tell us if you want the poor to breathe, this. If you don't want the poor to breathe, how do you want the poor to breathe?
JJ, thank you. Thank you very much.
Don't have jobs,
JJ, thank you.
It's not making any sense to me.
Thank you very much. I've got Muriel from Okrika. Muriel, welcome on the show.
Thank you, Canada.
Yeah,
good evening, this is your Crystal Woman.
Yeah, welcome.
You see, Canada, I want all Nigerians to stand by NLC this time. Canada, we should give them the benefit of the doubt this time and stand by them. Let it be like the NSAS protest in all the states. Everybody should come out and support NLC. There should be a massive strike. Honestly, Canada, there should be a massive protest.
So to what effect?
Look, Canada,
Muriel, I'm a Nigerian. You're asking
Canada,
me to
can you
support.
speak up a bit? You said?
You're asking Nigerians to support NLC. I am a Nigerian, and I'm asking to what effect? Yeah. To what effect? Can you hear me?
Canada, that's what I'm saying. Look, Canada, I know there is a court injunction stopping them from protesting, but Canada, do you know that it is only the poor that obeys court injunction in this country? The president and all the other sectors do not obey court injunction. Look at what happened to Egbefele. Canada,
but I just explained that stuff. I just explained it, and I said it's possibly for a different charge. So it's not necessarily like DSS, disobeyed the court order.
Canada, please, we should support NLC. Okay. Let's give them benefit of the doubt this time, because all the policies that Tinubu has ruled out is really to stifle, to strangle the poor. And that's why the Senate are making caricature of the poor, because they know that all the policies that Tinubu have ruled out is just to strangle us the more. They are telling us let the poor breathe. Do they know that currently in Nigeria the poor makes up 90 to 95% of the population? And if the poor decide to take deep breaths, even the rich, which make up just 5%, cannot even see oxygen. If we the poor decide to take deep breaths, they will not see oxygen themselves. So since they decided to make caricature of us, we should stand beside NLC, behind NLC, and we should go on this strike, because everything they are doing is working against us. Really, they are not even supposed to remove subsidy for anything,
Muriel, thank you very much.
Because they can't control the corruption behind petroleum. That's why they took off the subsidy, and that is against the poor. That is plunging the poor.
Muriel, thank you. I've got to let you go now. Thank you very much. I've got God's Power from Iche. God's Power, welcome. After God's Power, there's Clinton, and I'll take messages. Yeah, God's Power, welcome. Oh, it's noisy. Sorry, God's Power, I've got to let you go. Clinton from Bori, welcome.
Yeah, Clara, good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good afternoon, welcome.
Yeah, the Enugu Governor stealing banks and businesses for disobeying, as in obeying a sit-at-home order by Simon Ipa. I think this is a very dicey situation. the governor should try to understand that these people they are scared for their businesses. What are the measures he has put in place to ensure that these people are secured, their businesses are secured? So if I own a bank, if I run a bank, and these people are on the street with their guns, so I should open my bank for them to come and loot all the money in the bank. So I think before he gives directives, he's able to ensure that these businesses are safe and secured. Then on the ministerial list, I think it's taking too long. We believe in the president that he is well prepared for the job, but taking this long is keeping us in suspense, and it's giving room for a lot of fracas among people in the state, in Rivers State in particular, because we are seeing them lobbying people. And it's enough is enough. You should try and give us a list. Thank you.
Then. All right. Maybe like like someone said, I should put my name on that list. But let's go to Facebook now and let's read the messages, because I promise I read a lot of messages today. So let's see. Louis Marcus is saying on Facebook, I can't wait for the strike. Nonsense, he said. Nonsense. Jimbo Baraye Karibo Nelson says, of course, it's writing from Ogu Town. It is highly regrettable two federal agencies fighting over the custody of corrupt official, allegedly I should add. And then you went ahead to say they don't know the dignity of a uniform because of overzealousness and indiscipline. Discipline is the bedrock of any organization. See how the uniform of the correctional officer was torn by the DSS. A total disrespect for Nigerian uniformed men. Only God can save Nigeria from aggressive nature by those in authority. Jimbo Baraye Karibo Nelson, a veteran of the Armed Forces of Nigeria Navy. All right, Karibo Nelson, I greet you. I greet you especially. And then you said again, I think you sent it twice. I've seen it. Sandra Onyekwere says, good afternoon. Let the poor breed by Akpabio is a kind of joke because nothing good is coming from our leaders. So keep your messages pouring on Facebook. Go to the live stream comment section and drop your thoughts there. I've got Gift, and Gift is calling from Port Harcourt. Hello, Gift.
Good afternoon to you, Chief K.
Yeah, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Let me start this way. Immediately, the actions that took place yesterday, outside the legal side of it, let's say that concerns the rule of law. But two things I will put down here is this. There's a portion in the Bible that says, pray for your enemies.
All right.
But that portion did not tell us a prayer point or give us prayer points to pray for our enemies. And again, I will tell people, if you forgive your enemies, don't forget their names.
All
that
right.
is for Emefiele. But for the actions of the Enugu state government, it's the instrument you use in cleaning your ear. You don't use it to clean your eyes, Chief K. So if they are sealing up businesses, what about those who are enforcing the sit at home? Who is sealing them up, please? Because if for fear of darkness, you pee where you're sleeping, you remain with the stench of that pee of yours. So the Enugu state government should face those people enforcing the sit at home order first, before you have face those persons that are obeying the sit at home. Because if the government has been there for them from the outset, I don't think a lot of people will be obeying that sit at home.
All right.
Thank you very much,
Gift, thank you very much. I've got Obed from Port Harcourt. Obed, quickly, please.
Good evening, Canada.
Yeah, good evening. Welcome.
Yeah, Canada, honestly, the fragrant sufficient order by CSS is appalling.
Your radio is echoing, please.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Loud and clear, crystal clear. Go ahead.
Okay, yes. I think it's quite appalling. Honestly, it's sending wrong precedent to out there about the image of Nigeria. Honestly, I'm not seeing reason why. I'm not holding brief for Emefiele for his actions. What happened after that last week? But I must tell you, Kalada, this time around, because of the actions of CSS, they have made me to now begin to have soft support for Emefiele because of their actions. Court has given order, and this is not the first time that court has given order and they said disobey. This pity the DSS, director of DSS. Why is it that he doesn't say court order for crying out loud? They will court the order and you disobey. So you have not disobeyed and rearrested him. Which court you went and concocted offense that you saw the man with firearm. Fine. Court has granted the man bail. I let him go.
But there's another. What if there's another charge? There's a fresh charge.
Look, it doesn't mean the trial will not continue. It continues. You understand? It's a billable offense. You understand? This is the kind of action that can send investors away.
All right.
If the investors see that, look, in this country, laws and orders are not obeyed, you are sending them away for crying out loud.
All right then.
I think this man should be called to order, honestly.
All right, thank you very much. I've got a Lumba. Okay, I think I missed this connection. So let's focus now on messages, please. I've got a couple on WhatsApp, so I'm just going to take my time and read all of them. This one says, while I condemn the actions of the DSS, let this be a lesson to those who think integrity is not important. He was blinded by ambition and made himself a willing tool in the hands of Buhari. If he had a shred of integrity, he would have saved himself this humiliation by resigning. Let the poor breed. But Emefiele didn't allow Nigerians to breed when he had the chance. You didn't drop your name, but just my allegation. You can't say he does not have integrity. Only the courts can. The sealing of business premises in Enugu by Governor Mba on the ground that they failed to open their business premises is not a good one, as private business owners have the right to or not to operate at any time ends. I urge Governor Mba to unseal the shops because those shop owners do not move about with security men as the governor enjoys. Woike Odinaka with that one. And this one says, truthfully, the NLC has lost a salt content and happens to be tasteless, more like a toothless bulldog. What the DSS and NCS did is classified as shame. Osaro Friday when they go text him from Akpajo. All right, thank you very much. This says, good afternoon. Let the poor breed, and if possible, the rich suffocate. For Emefiele, whatever goes around comes around. He disobeys Supreme Court order, so the DSS should pay him in his own coin. They should keep him. Okay. No, come on now, Dave. I'm not reading that last part. Good afternoon, Kalada. Emefiele should drink from the same cup he served Nigerians with, Lady V. But really, let's take time to look at what Emefiele did. Increase the interest rates. Is that not what the CBN has currently done? He decided to open several foreign exchange windows. Can you see what the unification of the foreign exchange windows has done? What else did he do? He said, let's run a cashless society so we can tackle corruption and have a lot of people bring in, the naira back into the bank so that, the naira can compete with the foreign currency or currencies. Are we seeing the naira competing right now? Can we really, come on, let's look at it now. I'm not an economist, I'm just asking, can we really blame Emefiele? Really? He might have had good intentions, but it just did not work out. Someone said to me, economic policies and theories that would work in other places usually is defined in Nigeria. So can we really blame yet again? And the CBN cannot independently run its own economic policies. It's usually in tandem with the president. So if it is to be held, then what about the former president? I'm just asking. I'm asking for a friend. Kalada, good afternoon. Enugu State Governor is in order and should seal up any shop that is not ready to do business, because if you can obey IPOB order, I don't see reason why you should not obey that of a legitimate government. If you forbear with that one. Oh, long read, yes. It is highly regrettable. Okay, I think I've read your message on Facebook, so I'm going to skip. He said, until the majority of the people of the Southeast realize the evil in your unnecessary political brainwashed agitation, whatever policy or efforts of government might not yield much positive result. President Tinubu, please send the list of your ministerial nominees to ease this unnecessary tension and desperation by some politicians in the country. Emi Fiaga, Emi, good to hear from you. And this one says, NLC should please let Nigerians be with their empty breath. If they want me to believe them, let them occupy every street in Nigeria until federal government does the needful. On ministerial list, DSS should please do a thorough job on whoever is on that list. I greet you, Mr. Kalada. Hannah, greetings to you. Kozim. Is it that your name? I can't seem to pronounce it, sorry. But you said Emefiele have done a lot to the Nigerian citizens with the Naira redesign works. Though he was charged with different offense, illegal possession of firearm. However, individual is responsible for the action. Security operatives, DSS and correction officers need to have synergy to prevent such scenes in the courts. Okay. This is good afternoon, Canada. The NLC will have their meeting in the middle of the night in Abuja and call off the strike the next day. We Nigerians should not waste our energy on them. They have turned themselves into a laughing stock. Let the poor breed. Judge from Rumokrusi. All right, Judge, thank you. So it says, good afternoon. There is urgent need for NLC to stand up and take the necessary action. It's obvious this government is adamant and does not care about the plight of Nigerians. There is need to shut down the system so this government can listen to Nigerians. Addition says NLC are like a barking dog with seldom bite. They are toothless bulldogs. If you believe them, then you can believe anything. Damia Tere Kosima. All right. Moving on. Oyigbo Baye Michael. What's playing out between the DSS and the prison, or what played out, I believe you meant to say. Prison personnel calls for real worry. If the boys loyal to the man at the saddle today can display this level of disregard for the courts now, while the man is yet to pass the judicial ordeal surrounding the elections, what do you think they will do if and when he's fully confirmed as duly elected? Judy, thinking out loud, because we are likely to see worse and rascality in the months and years ahead. All right. Okay. They said terrorism, and there is a terror charge on him. Osemion from, I hope I pronounce your name well, from Rumokrusi. In as much as I do not have any respect for Emefiele, I think the action of the DSS is despicable. We should not jettison the rule of law for sentiments. Remember, what goes around comes around. And finally, good afternoon, Canada. Let the poor breed. A statement that made all senators laugh out loud. Seems to be a mockery to the poorest of the poor in Nigeria. Calvin.
That is that let the poor breathe. And then Senator Mustafa has seconded that the poor should breathe. Those who are in support of the additional prayer that the poor should be allowed to breathe, say aye. And those who are against, say nay. The ayes have it, the poor must be allowed to breathe.
Oh my goodness, what a country. Addison says on Twitter, Molly with the handle at MoleB8 says, with such acute hunger in the land as well as despair on a lot of faces, having leaders laugh over the statement, let the poor breed, is nothing short of evil. We now have soulless people in the corridors of power. I could feel the pain in that tweet. Or is it